Next game we're talking about here is the Miami Dolphins versus the Jacksonville Jaguars, and this was a game that started getting headlines real early in the morning when Tyreek Hill gets pulled over and arrested for trying to get into the stadium, and then
Yeah.
Calais Campbell gets nailed with a ticket for I think it was disorderly conduct or not
I
obeying an
don't. The whole
officer
thing
for help. The
is,
whole thing is just makes you scratch your head how anybody in Miami wouldn't know who Tyreek Hill is. Number one, number
yeah.
two, maybe he was trying to big time the cop. I don't
So,
know.
I
We
mean, there
weren't
have
we
been
weren't there to see
reports, but
anything, but the bottom line is this: you got a gentleman who's trying to get into work. Now imagine that for all our clients out there, all the people thinking, you got your 9 to 5 job, whatever. You're heading into work, you can't get in. And then when you say you work
so
there,
it
you get
was a
arrested.
driving incident. They said that
Yeah.
he
I
was
mean,
dangerously driving and endangered himself and others. They gave him
yeah.
two
Well,
tickets. The handcuffs, according to the police department, stemmed from he would not sit down when they asked him to sit, so they put him on the ground. That's kind of that is at least from the police department's standpoint what
that
happened. But
yeah.
it's just one of those things that I mean, we had a bet on this one. Lucky push is what I'll call it. We had Dolphins -3. We
Yeah.
made the line right around 30 or so to 19, so we definitely had the Dolphins favored. I mean, Tua threw for 340. They just couldn't, not quite as much on the ground as I thought they would. They'd have. They only averaged 3.2 yards a carry on 25 carries, so that was a little low. But yeah, no, definitely a mental checkout, I'll call it, before the game with Tyreek.
Yeah, and I think it showed because the Dolphins, with their second half comeback and Tyreek Hill hitting that big play, was definitely the a game changer.
Yeah.
So with that, they came around. My takeaway from it once again, um, I'm really starting to wonder about Doug Peterson. I mean, I'm one of those guys. I know you're not as high on Trevor Lawrence as I am.
He's got the
Uh,
same numbers as Daniel Jones. Like,
I'm starting to wonder about Doug Peterson. Is he really the right guy there? I mean, especially in their last uh, 6 games, I want to say this is a team that was what were they 2 and something down the stretch to end the season, and now to
I don't
start out
remember.
with a clunker like this, um, it, you know. ETN had they dropped a walk-in touchdown that would have changed the game. Um, and there are different plays, but I can't get by the fact that I'm really starting to wonder about Peterson as a coach, and I think I'm going to have to downgrade him, as I look at some of these teams because Trevor Lawrence is slowly slipping into the middle of the pack, if not heading towards the bottom third of the
He
pack,
threw for
and
160. Like,
yeah, exactly. And I just don't get it. This is a guy who's had all the talent in the world. He has looked phenomenal at different times. He brings all the traits. He processes well. He's made good decisions, and this is the output. So I've got to start to question what's going on there. On the flip side, I think Tua continues to be underrated. He
yeah,
continues to put up numbers. They continue to win. And I mean, take away a game where it's -100 there in Kansas City last year, and nobody wanted to be there, including a lot of the fans who got frostbite. And he's done some phenomenal things. So, all that being said, I still think I still see the Dolphins as a playoff contender, and with a little bit of luck and staying away from injuries, they're going to win a lot of games and might even be
yeah.
a Super Bowl contender. And the Jags got to figure it out. I love them. I've loved them to come out of that AFC South. I think they could win that division, but not how they're playing right now.
I
I mean,
mean,
they got to figure it out, and I blame Doug Peterson for this squarely.
they ran the ball well. Averaged
Yeah,
5 yards a carry on 26 touches. Trevor Lawrence, he was 12 of 21 for 162 and took 3 sacks, where he lost another 23 yards. I mean, he didn't throw any picks, but you'd expect better. And for we keep waiting for him to take that next step, and he just hasn't taken that next step.
Yeah. But I think yesterday it was a little bit where he was not helped by his teammates.
I mean,
Helped
they
improve
averaged
some of his
5 yards a
numbers.
carry on the ground. Like,
Well, no, I'm talking about dropping passes. So, that being said, what did the code have to say about this one? I mean, I know we got a push, so it was definitely a bet for
yeah,
us.
we bet the
Yeah.
Dolphins -3. Um, we made the line, like I said, right around 30-19 or so. Um,
Yeah.
so we had slight. I mean, depending on when you would have got the number, we made the total 49. I got 48.5 written down right here, so maybe slightly
Yeah.
to the over, but that's you can't even call that a lean. We basically made the line
Yeah.
exactly what the sports books had. Um, but this was a push. I'll take a push, especially how this game
Yeah.
started out. Um,
Yeah.
I will never complain about a push at all, and
Yeah.
we move on, and you go from
Yeah.
there. Get on to the next game. That's how I looked at this one.
Yeah, well, especially early on, I can remember thinking with what was going on mentally with the Dolphins, and then being down so much at halftime, I thought, yep, this is heading in the wrong direction. And
Mm-hmm.
congratulations to the Dolphins for pulling one out, and congrats to all of our clients and ourselves for getting a push on that one,
I'll take it.
because I did. Yeah, I'll definitely take it. So, like you said, on to the next game.